Well, thank you so much. Wow, great. You know, this is just an example of life. Sometimes it doesn't go as smooth as planned, but at the end of the day, we're just happy that we're here and we're present. So thank you so much, Ali, for being diligent.
Thank you very much for being patient.
Thank you so much. Teamwork, it really works.
Yep, it's working.
So,
it's all yours.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ali. Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. In my neck of the woods, in my world, it's morning time, so I'm just happy that we're all here together. I want to be able to, I know that Ali has already gone through an introduction, and I just want to welcome you to this particular webinar. We're going to talk about uncovering the USP myth, and USP stands for unique. Typically in industry, it stands for unique selling proposition. And today we're going to talk about how the best way to live effectively in life and get even more revenue than ever before is to really look at it from a unique serving proposition. I'm very excited to be here with my organization. I am honored to be alongside you and really serving you from the perspective of being able to pour into you and to educate you and share with you some of the things that have worked very well for me, worked for a lot of my clients, and worked for really a lot of the partnerships that I've had all around the world. So these are essential concepts that I do hope serves you there within the MILE community. I was so excited about the last time I was here. There were so many juicy, great questions that were presented. Questions, we talked about soul purpose and, what is the reason for being here and how and why is that important. And we had questions around, the downturn in the economy. We had questions around, and can you live your soul purpose in that? We had questions around being able to get appropriate training and how you really live purpose and be very financially stable, and talking about how is it possible. So I'm just so happy that those are just a few things, but we've really had some solid participation, and I really look forward to us doing the same in this particular webinar. Just a little bit about me. I know Ali has already gone through that. And I will just let you know that the Broche Group, the Live Rich Spread Wealth company that's recently rebranded, we have been around for over 12 years now. And for myself personally, I've had a very successful corporate life as well as a very good entrepreneurial life. By the age of 31, I was a self-made millionaire. And what I will say for sure is that even though I've had a lot of successes in life, what I want to say is that there's been a lot of lessons. You really can't be really successful without going through some ups and downs. I call it strengthening the muscle of success, if you will. And so if you look on your life and you see there are some things that you might have experienced, look at them. And I've been able to look back on my life when I had, when I really knew that I was born into the United States. My family came from Jamaica. And what I understood and what they gave me, although we did not have a lot of money, we had the philosophy of possibility, that it was available to us if we were willing to work hard enough and sacrifice in today and do the work so that we can benefit from that in the future. And so what I will tell you is that although it has been an amazing career, I wanted to tell you that even the stumbles have been really great. The stumbling blocks, the lessons that I've learned along the way have really allowed me to be here to serve you today. And for that, I'm very thankful. What we do at the Broche Group and at Live Rich Spread Wealth is we do serve around the world. We do coaching for executives and for entrepreneurs. We do consulting, really working with clients and businesses and seeing what is the vision that you have? What's the major initiative that crosses all different departments, all different divisions, and how can we support you in making sure that your organization stays in alignment and really rallies against that, around that initiative, and how can we effectively implement your strategies to support that major initiative within your company. And as the founder of Live Rich and Spread Wealth, it's a movement that is actually causing me to go on a world tour. And it's about living the best life you possibly can while you spread your gifts. You spread wealth by utilizing your gifts to really support people in their journey. And It's not, oftentimes people automatically think about money, and it is. I mean, the abundance is just amazing, and it is out there and it's available to all of us. However, when I talk about live rich, spread wealth, I'm also talking about living the richest life you possibly can. And what that looks like is, yes, you can have financial success. However, there's a difference. The distinction is having financial success, being fulfilled, feeling that you're really in your purpose, and really being able to stand in your truth and being authentic about who you are and accepting yourself, and likewise others will accept you as you are as well. And spreading wealth is about giving back, giving back into your community, being that leader, formally or informally, being that person of influence, so you make a difference. And you share the natural talents and gifts that you have, you share that with the world because we need you. And that's really an important part of Live Rich, Spread Wealth. And so I would love to go on and tell you more about our exclusive series that we have here for the MILE organization. This is the second of 3 really exciting webinars. Exciting from the perspective that you are able to understand what it is to be stronger and more powerful in your walk. From a business perspective, from entrepreneurial perspective, and a life perspective. We'll have our last webinar, and it's going to be on September 10th, and that's where we're going to talk about Live Rich, Spread Wealth, Systems for Success. And that's going to be really great from the if you're interested in understanding how you can have repeatable success, where it's predictable, how you can have a dream and do a series of actions which I'll teach you. And as a result of doing that work, you can predict your success over and over and over. The results that you desire, you will get on a consistent basis. So I'm really excited about sharing that with you. And then, as Ali mentioned, there is a bonus. Out of the desire to serve you and support you, I want to come alongside those champions, those leaders, those giants, because there's a giant in all of us. And I want us to come together and honor the person that does the work, takes the action, because that's what life is all about. It doesn't matter. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for who is willing to take the action, who's willing to do the things that they've never done before to get different results, amazing results for their lives and for their families and for all the folks that they have influence over. So that's why we have this particular bonus for you. And how do you qualify? You sign up to be in our new, you sign up for the webinars. You do the pre-work and the post-work, and you send that in within 1 week of the actual webinar, and you'll be notified within 2 weeks of the last webinar as to who has been able to benefit from this particular bonus, if you will. So this is really, we're really excited because we've never done this before. And so if you read the document titled Finding Your Fingerprint, that is something that we would love for you to read and let us know that you've done that. And we want to know what, after we've shared this time together on this webinar, I want to hear from you on what your definition of a unique serving proposition is. And what is your unique serving proposition as an individual as well as a business? Yes, so I wanted to look forward to, I didn't really actually get anything yet, so I wanted to really make sure that we are serving in the best way. So please, even if you do not do the actual work, the pre-work or the post-work, please make sure that you share with Ali your experiences as a result of being part of this journey on this webinar. We are here to serve you, and we want to make sure that you receive the value that we intend to provide you. So let's talk about what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn more about what is a serving proposition and why is it important, and how do you make money by living and tapping into this unique serving proposition. How do you charge for that? And how do you communicate what that is to your tribe? And your tribe is the community that you're here to serve, your business community, your colleagues. What does that look like? And then what is your fingerprint and your unique serving proposition? We will explore that within this particular webinar. And what I expect for you to be able to take away is that you'll be able to discover what is it for you. Identify ways to charge for what your uniqueness is, and uniqueness is for you as an individual and or you as an organization. Be clear about identifying your tribe and how do you go about doing that. And for those that are in marketing or entrepreneurs, because you're in everything to be a successful business, you might very well be familiar with some of this terminology, and some of it will not be new to you, and some of it might give you another perspective. And the intention is to help grow that perspective when you're serving in your community. And we share a communication strategy that you can apply to your tribe in being effective in letting them know that you're there to serve them. In addition, you will discover your fingerprint and what role it plays in your life. So if you've been in business for any amount of time, you should have heard about this unique selling proposition. Simply put, it translates to what are the amazing benefits that your customer would get if they choose to buy your product or service, and more importantly, how is it a benefit, and how is it different from someone else's offer or the competition's services or products? Well, I'm here to tell you that the USP is a myth. Unique selling proposition, it is a myth. If you're competing on price, features, or benefits of a product, you're never going to win as much as you can if you focus on another kind of USP, a unique serving proposition. So what is that? Let's break it down. What is your unique way of serving your customer? You see, your unique serving proposition is that unique transformation that you provide through your products or your services, and that brings about a change in your customer's life. So your unique serving proposition is focused completely on the customer, and it is determined by who you are as a leader or a business owner. USP versus USP, unique selling proposition versus unique serving proposition. It's all about the mindset. How about if I tell you, let me see how this amazing time management product really works? Or which one would be better if I was to show you that? If I'm with you and you're my client, we're talking about a product, and I say, let me show you all the products and features. Let me show you the features and the functionality of this product. You know, that's okay. You might be a little interested. But what if I was to say, let me tell you about this amazing way that I can serve you by showing you how to save time in your business and in your life? What sounds better? Both as a customer and as a business owner. What do you think gets better results? When you serve people, you focus on how they are as individuals, and you try and come up with the best solution for them, and yes, they're willing to pay you for it. Often you get paid more when you're looking to serve a customer versus when you're trying to sell them something. So what I'm saying that is, you know, in this world we have a lot of technology, we have a lot of commercials, a lot of advertising, and the advertisements that really get your attention are really showing you what's in it for you. I mean, what I say about serving, I don't want you to be, I don't want to get this mixed up, because serving is not being a slave to your clients. It's about being a servant. Slaves won't get paid, but servants always get paid. I sold a lot of products in Microsoft, but I always had a service mindset, which is why I had some amazing customers and built some amazing relationships. Today I built a 6-figure, 7-figure income business serving people in the best way I can. When you focus on serving people and giving them what is the best for them, and not necessarily it's about you, it's not about you, it's about your customers and what's the best for them, you turn a one-time customer into a lifetime client. If you have or lead a sales team, I want you to go back and talk to them about changing their verbiage from sell to serve, and to see the difference that it makes in their closure rate. In the last webinar, we talked a lot about what is your sole purpose and why is it important to discover it, and guided you through the process of identifying your sole purpose. Today, we're going to look at what makes you or your business unique and how that is unique. That is key to uncovering your unique serving proposition and communicating it to your tribe. In your workbook, there are some questions I'd like you to answer which will help you identify your unique serving proposition. You can answer these either as an individual or as a business owner, and at the end there is space for you to write out what you believe is your unique serving proposition. And give me examples of what that looks like. You see, I'll give you an example for myself. I have a combination of being a project manager, a coach, and a strong teacher. And as a result, I've been coined as being the guru of implementation because I support businesses in transforming their systems, their processes, their organization to reach the initiatives and the visions that they have. I also transform lives through the use of systems and processes. I have done this several times over and over again, so I know that this works. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you are in Tokyo. It doesn't matter if you're in the Middle East. It doesn't matter if you're in Moscow. It does not matter. This definitely works. I focus on results, and my clients refer to me as the guru of implementation because of that. They refer me to others because of the things that I do and how I serve uniquely. Now that we talked about what a unique serving proposition is, let me give you 5 reasons why you must have and know your or your business's unique serving proposition. And there's a space in your workbooks for you to write it in other reasons that you can think of. The first one is differentiation. First up, your unique serving proposition is what makes you stand out from the crowd. When you articulate your unique serving proposition in a meaningful way to your clients, they can immediately see what makes you different from your competition. Hint, let me just give you a hint. When using the word serve versus advise, sell, give, makes you stand out in your customer's head because the word serve is so powerful. Identification. Your unique serving proposition is what helps you identify the clients you want to work with and also the ones that want to work with you. You can't be all things to all people, but when you have a clear value proposition, it becomes easy for the right people to work with you. When you know your sole purpose and you know your unique serving proposition, you are able to create products and services that complement who you are. Live Rich, Spread Wealth is a result of my commitment to serving my clients and helping them live the life of possibility and abundance. I'm able to design this because I was willing to go through the steps to know and be very conscious of who I am as a person, what my gifts are, and who am I on assignment to serve while I'm here. And taking that very seriously. And then we're going to talk about copywriting. Once you're really clear about your unique serving proposition and what makes you different, it is easy for you or your marketing team to communicate that difference on your website, in your branding, and through your emails, etc. You need to consistently communicate your unique serving proposition to customers in a way that makes sense to them. And copywriting is a way of writing, a way of communicating, where you are really honing into language that your community understands and you're meeting them exactly where they are. And it needs to be consistent. I'm going to dive a little deeper into that in the next section. However, lastly, knowing and having a unique serving proposition is one of the best ways to grow both your sales as well as your profits. Every customer would rather work with a company that has their best interests at heart than with a company that is only interested in selling to them. Though we touched briefly on the concept of a tribe in Webinar 1, I'm going to dive a little deeper today into that subject. Identifying your tribe. You see, your tribe is the people that you serve. They are not just your customers or your clients. They are a community of people who look to you for answers and solutions to their problems. Once you know what your unique serving proposition is, you must also identify who is it that you serve and what characteristics that they share. And I know in marketing oftentimes we look at the demographics, and what I'd also encourage you to do is look at the psychographics of your tribe, of your community. Some of us may already be familiar with our tribe. Some of us may need some help in identifying who our tribe is. When you know and understand your tribe, you can tailor and customize your products and solutions to fit them. You can communicate in ways to them that they understand. You can meet them where they are and do the things that they like to do. In your handouts, here are some questions to answer about your tribe. What does your tribe like? What does your tribe dislike? What interests do they have? Where do they like to hang out? How do they like to communicate? And how do they like to be communicated to? What do they do? Who is your tribe? And, when I say your tribe, I'm talking about not just your customers or your clients, because they don't always just start out like that. If you're servicing a community, your customers and your clients come from that community in which you serve. So what are they? How do they, what kind of cars do they drive? Where do they go? Where do they walk to? Where do they spend their vacations? What do they do when they're at home? What are their values? When you're able to speak to their values, speak to the difference that you make in their life, it's a way that you can identify them and they can identify you. Your tribe is very important. Your tribe will become more than just your fans, people that really honor, love, and respect you. They will tell other people about you and your unique serving proposition. They will look up to you and trust that you know what's best for them. You will never have to sell to them. They will come to you and ask you for your services. What is the distinction? It is your responsibility to let them know how you can serve them. However, you don't have to hard sell them. You don't have to be aggressive in selling them. You can be aggressive in communicating to them as to what is the unique way that you can make a difference in their life. And that can show up in your marketing. It can show up in your branding. And when you communicate to them, now that you know who your tribe is and why it's important to have one, you must also figure out how to communicate with your tribe. In the next section, we're going to focus on how you can communicate your unique serving proposition in meaningful ways to your tribe. Let me give you an example. There's a company by the name of McDonald's. They are all over the world, in almost every country. And let me tell you a little bit about their tribe. Kids and busy parents who may not have help at home to prepare meals or look after the house, they are having a very busy, hectic schedule. McDonald's really caters to folks that want to be able to provide meals for their children as well as themselves in a fast manner. They use colors and toys and excitement to attract the kids to their establishment. And they use words like fast, cheap, and easy to attract parents who are on the go and whom cost might very well be a factor. So you understand it's not just about the hamburgers or the sandwiches or the drinks that McDonald's provides. It's how they do it. What is the experience that they're creating that will allow their community in which they serve to say, yes, I need to stop here, I need to go here, I need to drop the kids off at McDonald's, I need to go pick up the meals for the kids. We need to go, or the family needs to go and have a time at McDonald's. And so whether McDonald's is the place that you love or not, I want you to think of places that you go today and start looking at it from the perspective of, well, what else? It's not just about the food, it's not just about the clothes, it's not just about the business transaction. What is the experience that you are engaged in? And how are they communicating that they're the right person for you to do business with? So copywriting is what attracts people to your business. When you focus on your unique serving proposition and let your copywriting flow from there, it becomes a lot more effective. And also, it actually saves you money when you're able to laser on that and laser on the right audience for you. And you talk about what you want to hear, what you want them to hear in their language. Using the right words helps you consistently communicate your unique serving proposition to your audience. It helps your customer understand who you are, and it helps you craft your message when you are creating a brand or any kind of branding materials for your organization. Here are some questions to ask yourself about communicating with your tribe, which can help you with your copywriting. Do you like face-to-face? Do they like face-to-face interactions? Are they the kind of clients that you have to meet with them physically all the time? Or can you have phone interactions? What does that look like? What is their face-to-face interaction style? Is it one-on-one? Do you like meetings, seminars? What are their learning opportunities like? And I'm sure my organization has done this already. Do they spend a lot of time on the internet? Which of these will help you communicate your unique service proposition? With social media out there these days, a way to be able to capture information from your clients because they want you to have that information and to speak to them regularly, through social media, through blogs, through websites. What will help you communicate your unique serving proposition in the best way? What is your strategy to communicate your unique serving proposition with your tribe? Those are the things you can take some time out and really look at and hone it. So regardless of if you have a marketing strategy right now today and it's established, go back to that marketing strategy. Where are there opportunities to even be more laser in how you speak to your customers? Your customers don't care about how many freebies you give them, how many times a week you meet with them, how much time you spend creating your products, or how much time you will spend delivering it. They are most concerned with the transformation you bring about in their lives as a result of your service or product. That's really what they care about. Will you make them smarter, more productive, richer, more successful? Or will they feel better about their lives? Will they be healthier? Will their neighbors envy them? Will it help them to find a better job? Or you get the idea. There are so many things your customers are really looking. At the end of the day, I call it with them. What's in it for me? That's what they're thinking about. That's what you're thinking about in your day-to-day walk. If you focus on the transformation rather than the delivery, you will attract more customers with your copywriting. And I would say, if I was going to give you a gauge, focus more on the transformation. And when I say that, I mean 90% of your messaging to your community should be on what's in it for them. How do you relieve their pain? How do you bring them benefit? How do you provide that solution? And 10% on the delivery. You need to talk about this transformation when you meet customers face-to-face and through your marketing efforts. Do you know how you transform your client's life? If you don't, you have a lot of homework to do in order to figure out how it is that you make a difference to the clients you work with. And some things you can think about are, just for example, what was my greatest success story? When you create a transformation in a past client's life, how did I transform that person or that business? What were the results? As a result of you working alongside them in your services or your products, how did you transform their business? And when I say transform, it could be your service. Your service you might have services that work with entrepreneurs. And as a result of you bringing more profitability to their business or their corporation, it doesn't matter, it's just an example, then you were able to take the burden off of that entrepreneur and the worry that they had. And when they had less worry, they were able to spend more time with their family and be very present, as opposed to be caught up with, oh my gosh, how am I going to make ends meet in my business? So when I say transformation, I'm not just speaking about the financial benefits. I'm speaking about all of the benefits, the things that you might not always thinking about. When you're able to come alongside an executive and really support them in leading a team in a way that they've never been led before, and you allow your executive to be more powerful in their position and more influential, and therefore make a stronger difference, then you're not only supporting that executive, you're supporting the team in being more productive. That impacts the bottom line. You're supporting the executive in their career path. That impacts the executive's life. They have more opportunities. What are all the ways that your services and products transform lives? I don't know if you guys have received, or gals have received these commercials. There's a commercial that I saw recently, and it was in regards to the iPhone, Apple's product, the iPhone. And you would look at the commercial and you're like, okay, what exactly are they advertising? Because they're really showing in the commercial how there's a lot of pictures being taken, families are getting together, young kids are taking pictures of their events, they're texting their pictures to their friends, and how, where they're capturing life in essence. And while the commercial is about a phone that has features and functionality, they're not telling you, oh, well, the iPhone has a camera, it has a phone, they're not doing that. They are capturing the transformation that the phone provides people in their lives, a way to be connected, a way to be able to not only be connected from voice perspective, but also from pictures perspective, a way to be transformed through having immediate connection and to communicate in ways that we have not been able to communicate as effectively before. So when I'm talking about transformation, you need to talk about this transformation when you meet customers face-to-face and through your marketing efforts. Do you know how you transform your client's life? If you don't, think about also what benefits do your clients get from working with you and your company. What is the cost? This is a very good key question in transformation. What is the cost of not working with you? What do they lose out on? So if they have a particular problem and you have a solution, what happens if they never tap into getting into that solution? By every day that they don't make that decision, what is the cost to them? I mean, there are times in when I'm serving corporations and even entrepreneurs, and there's a solution that will really open up their business and provide them to have a lot more revenues than they've had before. And sometimes they might be stuck in having clarity as to, okay, should I move forward in this direction or not? And when they bring a consultant or bring me as a coach in their business, I've already looked through the pros and the cons and all the different cases, so they get to choose. And based on what they said that they wanted to do and wanted to accomplish, and the time frame that they said they wanted to do it, they have time to think about it. However, there's a point in time where, as each day is delayed, it gets them further and further away from accomplishing their goal in the time that they said they wanted to accomplish it. It will cost them to not accomplish their goal. No one brings me in if they don't have a goal. so though that's the life in which I do exist in a lot of the corporations and also in my entrepreneurial clients' lives. So what's the cost of not working with the solution that you're providing? What does your client really want? You know, oftentimes people say, well, I want to make a lot of money, you know, or I want to increase the revenues in my business. And that's one thing that they want, but what other things? I encourage you and I challenge you to dig a little deeper as to what it is that they really want. At the end of the day, entrepreneurs really want to be able to be profitable. And they want to be profitable because they want to make sure that their solution, their products or their services are going to make a difference, so much so that their clients are going to purchase it and they're going to tell their people about it, and then they're going to grow their influence in the world through their products and their services. And as a result of doing that effectively, then they're going to get their profits. Or they want to, or corporations, they definitely want to bring the money in, but at the end of the day, they want to make sure it's not just money for a one-time transaction. They want their clients to come back. They want to have a longer lifespan of a client. So what is it that's what's really going on with them? You know, some entrepreneurs, they want to be an entrepreneur because they want freedom. They want freedom in their lives. They don't want to necessarily be dictated to by anyone. They want to be able to provide their services in a way that feels good for them, in a time frame that feels good for them, and also feels good for their community. In corporations, they want to be able to be agile. They want to be able to meet the demands. Regardless of the change, the world's always changing. But how can they be agile, no matter how big or small they are, to meet the changes in a way that keeps them on a profitable track? And how do they mitigate risk? When it comes to, some industries might have ebbs and flows. Some industries might have high profits. They might be in the season. Technology can be, you know, based on where you are in technology, you can have a very upswing in profitability. And however, for example, in hardware changes, it evolves over time. So what do you need to do to stay ahead of the game? What do you need to do that when this particular piece of hardware is not necessarily what clients are wanting these days and they want something else? How agile are you to stay with always being able to provide a transformation to your clients? What is your client's biggest pain? You know, where are they feeling it? What keeps them up at night? And how can you solve that? At the end of the day, people want to know what they're going to get from working with you. Help them see that or visualize how they will be different. What is the outcome of your work with them? I call it like those benefits that are just juicy. I mean, for your clients, I mean, or what they want, or what do you want them to say when they talk about how you make a difference in their business or how you make a difference in their life? What do they say about their What do they say to their friends? Do you give them things to brag about, to really speak highly about? Make them want you. And what will they say? Work backwards. So these are questions you want to ask yourself. How does their life change? How do you support them in that? What is the outcome of your work? What results do you provide? How are they different after experiencing your product or service? And I'll tell you, one way to get those questions answered is to actually go to some of your key clients. If you don't know the words and you're not very clear, and you might have a perspective, but you might not have the depth of perspective that your clients can provide you. You're on a journey with them, alongside them. You guys are in it together. We're all connected. You know, you can always have a questionnaire or a focus group and have them give you the words because they know them best. When you're writing your message or looking for words to use, you could sometimes get stuck. I mean, we tend to speak the lingo we learned when we learned them about our business. You could talk about the bottom line, turnover, and risk management, but in the end, what your customer wants to hear is how much money you're going to save them. In short, you need to find out what they really want to know about, what transformation do they really want you to focus on, and go from there. Some of the ways to do this are, ask your customers for referrals and see what it is they talk about when they refer you. Use technologies like LinkedIn or any other technologies to read about feedback of what your customers leave for you. Ask other industry people what they think customers want. Do your research. Conduct a survey of past or current clients, and even ask potential clients what they're interested in knowing about. You know, one thing that I've always been very conscientious about in my career and in a business and life is, even when I worked for someone, I always made a point to stay close to the client. And even in my business now, I always make a point to stay close to my clients. Have a connection. Never go away from what their needs are. Your clients' needs do evolve, and you want to evolve with that and understand what really matters to them. One of the people in my virtual team is based in India, and she conducts a lot of training and programs for our clients there. And she told me about a training program where a participant put up his hand and said, "Ma'am, you either talk in Hindi or you leave the room, because if you talk in English, we cannot understand you, and you are wasting your time and ours." And, you know, this is an extreme example. However, the point that I'm trying to make to you is you need to be able to speak your tribe's language so they can better understand and identify with what you are saying. When you're looking to craft your message, you need to use the words that your clients use. Go back to the list that we talked about in the previous slide when you're looking to see what kind of change in your clients are interested in. You also need to see what kind of words they use. Business people love to use jargon. Let's take an example. Describe your favorite coffee house, if that's what whatever your favorite is. We'll use a coffee house, for example, the coffee. Don't name it, just describe what it tastes and smells like to you when you're sipping that coffee from your favorite coffee house. Even strong and black with no cream, no sugar is a very different description from what your barista will tell you if you ask him to describe the coffee to you. He may talk about beans, origins, and the roast, etc. So that's kind of equivalent to the features and functionality. And like, for example, if you look at Starbucks employees and how they speak their customers' language, they'll tell you it tastes like Christmas in a cup. Or it tastes like, versus a warm blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, and touch of clove, topped with whipped cream over an aromatic Arabic medium roast espresso shot. You know, that's a mouthful. But you want to speak your client's language. And you want to speak a language in reference to what makes it easy for them to say, yes, you're the one to serve them. You're the one that they want to do business with. And the first talks to your tribe, and it's about the transformation. The second is about the delivery. So let's prioritize that. You know, oftentimes when you're working so hard on something, like you're working so hard on a product in your company, it's easy to fall back on, well, these are the features and functionality, because quite frankly, when you were working on this product or this program, you wanted to make sure that it had, at the end of the day, the essence of what will make that difference with your client. However, at the end of the day, the client wants to know the difference it will make, not the essence of it. if you ever tried to want to lose weight or get healthy, oftentimes you can make a goal for yourself to follow a routine, like follow a fitness routine, or to enlist someone to support you on that, whether it be a coach, a fitness instructor, it doesn't matter what it is, or a video, whatever that looks like for you. And, at the end of the day, you want to just be healthier, or you want to look better, or you want to be leaner, you want to tone up, or you want to get more muscles. That's what you really want. For them to say that, well, every day or 3 times a week, you're going to need to work out for 45 minutes, and you're going to be tired, and we're going to show you all the exercises you need, and for them to go on and on about that, you're going to tune out, because that's really not what you care about. You care about, if I follow what you say that I am supposed to do to get the results that I'm looking for to get, will I get them? So I want to lose 10 pounds. If I follow what you say to do, if I follow your program, will I lose the 10 pounds? Will I be healthier? That's what they care. That's what you would care about. That's what your tribe cares about. At the end of the day, will I have more confidence? Because now I know how I can gain more revenue in a way that serves me, that's more efficient. Will I be able to streamline my processes so that I can be able to utilize that time that I took? Give me back the time so I can utilize it for other things, so I can be more effective and more powerful in my business. However, they don't want to know that it took you 3 months to create the program. They don't want to know that, if these buttons look really great, this is a red button. They don't want to know all that. I mean, they want to know it, but they want to know it 10%, 20%. They don't want that to be the whole presentation that you have for them. And so that's why I say sometimes your customers might use a word that is meaningful, but does not really describe what your unique serving proposition is clearly. So, for example, being natural or being a people's person in this case, you need to elaborate on what your customer said and translate it into something meaningful that you can use. Be crystal clear. When writing and communicating your message, you need to be crystal clear about what it is that they are saying. When you talk about your unique serving proposition and the transformation you bring about, your customer should actually be able to see this transformation appearing as you talk about it or describe it. A way to do this is be clear about what you want to say. Use key words. Speak to your ideal clients. Speak your tribe's language. So, for example, even here at this time, I'm here with you, and the Mile organization clearly is chartered to serve Middle East, North Africa, and Asia. However, the Mile organization has people that listen to these webinars from all over the world. They are specific about who they are to serve, but they're not exclusive. If you're in the United States now, because I know that I have some folks that might have joined because I told them about it, then they're going to get benefit too. But when it comes to being clear about your transformation that you bring to your tribe, you want to be laser on how you serve your tribe, and then other people will follow. But when you try to talk to everybody and be very general, then you lose pretty much everyone, because there's nothing unique about you that will say, oh wow, let me take my time and really listen to what this person is providing me, what is their solution to establish if I want to do business with them. So let's talk about your fingerprint. It's the first thing that I wrote about when I did my book, Soul to Soul, How to Identify Your Soul Purpose and Monetize It. And I also provided you a chapter of that book in the home study, out of my home study program. And if you want to know more about it, just email me later. But today we're going to talk about your fingerprint. And your fingerprint is your unique, compelling advantage which you bring to your tribe and to the people you serve. No one else has your fingerprint. And your fingerprint makes you confident and makes people want to be attracted to you. They want to do business with someone who is unique and who stands out. They will tell their friends about you, their colleagues about you, and will help keep attracting more and more people to you as you stand in your soul purpose. So fingerprint, let me break it down for you, what it really means overall. The F in it means freedom. Freedom to live your soul purpose and to be your best self and to let go of the rest. Focus on the best of who you can be and let go of the rest. That provides you so much freedom. And I ask you, freedom is What do you need, and I ask you a question, what do you need to let go of in order to live your soul purpose? Because freedom allows you to embrace who you are and who you are not. It's okay to not be everything to everybody. That's very exhausting, and quite frankly, it's not possible. That's what's so beautiful about being unique. Your uniqueness allows you to have freedom in what you are strong at, what you are good at, and to show up powerfully. The other thing is intuition. Intuition is all about shutting out the loud external voices and receiving guidance from within. You need to be confident that your inner voice is indeed guiding you in the right direction. What does your inner voice say about the path you have chosen to live? On your journey, you will experience barriers and obstacles. It will be hard. I mean, I tell you, you're going to fall down and you're going to pick yourself up. And the biggest thing is just to never give up. The more you strive to live your soul purpose, the easier it will become to achieve that. Another reason not to give up is because you serve your tribe, and if you give up, you leave them hanging. And you don't want to do that. That's how important you are. You know, we all have a purpose in life, and we end up being here and we have the gifts that we need to fulfill the purpose. And sometimes if it was you if you did not show up because you didn't think you were important enough, you didn't think you could make a difference, that's someone that has missed the opportunity to be freed because you might have perhaps thought about giving up. And so I say that it's bigger than you, so much bigger than you. And even if you think of a hurdle you experienced in your past and the one that you overcame, the situation just flowed effortlessly after a while. And you're glad that you stuck to your guns. So what is it can you recall in your life that really seemed to be, oh my goodness, how am I going to get over this hurdle? How am I going to make it to the other side? However, once you did, you were so happy that you did. You're so happy that you didn't give up. And that feeling that you overcame the challenge that you're faced with, I encourage you to always do that in all that you do. Never give up, because we need you. And when you don't give up, you will grow. You'll grow when you live your soul purpose. There's many situations to grow. You will grow your confidence, you will grow personally, and you will grow professionally. Your relationships, abundance, your business, all of those things will grow. How do you want to grow over the next 12 months? I want you to take time out to envision that for yourself. And you will evolve. So as you grow and serve your tribe while living your soul purpose, you and your soul purpose may both evolve. You may develop new products or services in order to meet the needs and requirements of your tribe. So how do you imagine your product or service evolving over the next 12 months? It could be your product or service, or even your career. If you're an employee within an organization, what are you going to, how are you going to serve in a way that will allow you to evolve in your purpose? What I love is that as you are giving, you will also attract things into your life. You will get what you give. This is the best part about living your soul purpose. You don't have to try so hard. When was the last time the universe reciprocated what you gave out? I told you, when you're on assignment with your gifts, it's an exchange, if you will. As you're out there in the world, letting people know about how you can transform their lives, from their business or their lives, whatever it is that you provide them, then really open up the opportunity to receive as well. So it's not just about you giving, because that's giving is great, but there's a flow with that. There's an energy with that. And as you give, you also receive. So yes, it's guaranteed that you will have reciprocity. However, you have to show up and be willing to receive that. So that's just the part of the equation. And as a result, you'll also expect to prosper. When you live your soul purpose, you're doing what you're meant to do. And that means you are meant to be abundant while doing it. Don't run away from prosperity. How do you feel about being prosperous? And, I say don't run away from prosperity, and you might be thinking, well, how in the world, why would I ever do that? And what it looks like is sometimes we are so committed to serving that we forget that, we are enough. We do deserve it. We deserve the abundance. We are important. Our souls are important. We're precious people on this earth. And if someone wants to say thank you, and they receive something that has transformed their lives, make sure that you are pricing your products and pricing your services in a way that you can receive prosperity as well. You are part of that equation, and you're part of that transaction, and it's okay. And I would also say respect your gifts and what is uniquely yours. It is here for you and others to respect. So how can you respect your own gifts? So when you're being unique in your serving proposition, that's really embracing what it is your uniqueness is. Respect it. As a result of respecting it, you can have a huge effect on other people. And it is contagious, especially your loved ones. They will be influenced and energized by you. And you don't even have to be your loved ones. It can be, it's just the people that are in your circle of influence. When you get out there and you can influence the people you come into contact with. When you live your soul purpose, people are impacted across the globe. And only your vision can limit you when it comes to influence and touching and connecting with other people. It's your vision. It's whatever you want. You can impact the people right there in your household. You can impact the people in your company. You can impact the people in your country. You can impact the people in your world, in the globe. It's whatever you want to do. But understand that when you are stepping in your unique serving proposition, your influence grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is a natural flow of things. Your soul purpose should feel natural and effortless to do because it is who you are and who you need to be in a bright and big way. So how can you be as natural as possible within your soul purpose? We all have unique gifts. So, if you are an amazing teacher and you love to teach, let's just say you teach, whatever you teach, you actually incorporate some level of music there. That's what makes you be more effective. Or you can teach and, you want to be within a classroom or you want to be within a corporation. You just have a way that's unique in how you deliver your information. Just be natural with it. Don't go against the grain of who you are as a person because you'll be not effective that way. You will not only not be effective in your soul purpose and your unique serving proposition, you'll lose out to the competition. So this is supposed to be something that works with you, not against you. So natural is very important. And then the T in fingerprint is all about time. There is no time like the present to explore and design a life that will serve both you and your tribe in the best possible way. So how can you live in the moment and not worry too much about the past and the future? How can you be present to what's going on today? You can have your tribe in front of you, a client, a colleague, and it's very important to stay in touch with what's going on in that moment as you're serving them, as you're talking to them, as you're explaining the transformation you can provide. If you're not fully present in that moment, then you'll miss an opportunity to serve them even more. If you're caught up in the back of your head about, okay, well, I got to run to the next meeting, blah, 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 and you might lose an opportunity to talk to them and really see, you might have come into the room wanting to provide them one level of service, and based on what they're saying and being in tune to what their needs are, you might walk out of the room with another level of solution, more money to generate because you're able to serve them in a greater way because you listen to them. You are fully present to what their needs are. So now that you've figured out what your unique serving proposition is and how your fingerprint is an integral part of your unique serving proposition, how are you going to charge for your unique serving proposition? Let's talk about that. There is a difference, like I said, between slaves and servants. Servants get paid. Just because you are serving people does not mean you have to do it for free or you have to, undercut your prices. When you serve people, you change their lives, you improve their environment, and you help them. And that, in essence, is priceless. It is a beautiful thing to be able to be out there in your community and serve your community in which you really are able to make a difference. It is important that we do not limit what we charge because we consider it serving. You can charge as much for service as we can for sales. It is only the mindset and the way that we approach our tribe that changes. Do you have a limiting belief when it comes to charging for your services? Can you give easily but find it hard to receive? You know, in your workbooks, I write down, you know, you have an opportunity to write down what your limiting beliefs are about charging for your services, and that's especially for the entrepreneurs out there. So let's talk about when you're living your soul purpose, we no longer run after or pursue customers. We attract them to us. When you run towards your customers, they run too, because they run in the opposite direction because it's too much. When you attract your customers, they run towards you. When you live your purpose, people are attracted to what you have to offer. They want to talk about you and your services. You also attract the kind of energy and people you send out into the universe. So if you're happy and excited about your purpose, you will attract a tribe that is happy and excited about your purpose. The same is also true about negative attractions. So let's just say you are walking and you're not necessarily doing your purpose work, and you know you're not really fulfilled, and you have this product or service. You're not even really excited about it. And this can apply to you if you're working for a corporation. You know, that's probably not the best place that they would love for you to be. If you're not even excited, you don't believe in the products and how it makes a difference in your clients, in your client base, and in your tribe. And when you're out there, your tribe might not even be attracted to it either, because unless you are able to get behind it and say how amazing and show them how it changes their lives and their business and makes that big difference, then it's gonna wane on them. They're not gonna be as excited about it. But when you are excited about it, they're gonna get excited about it. They will be able to receive that level of energy that you have behind how this changes the world that they live in, how it changes their life. It speaks to what's in it for them. So why market? You know, why should you market your business? Well, one of the things that does happen to many people who live their sole purpose is that they grow their business with almost zero marketing, or they actually are able to save tremendously on the marketing dollars. Their customers tell other people, and their phone ends up ringing off the hook. It ends up ringing and ringing and ringing because their clients and their customers are so excited about how they've been served. So they want to tell their friends and anyone who listens. This is definitely one of the benefits of living your soul purpose. However, if you want to increase your marketing efforts, or if you've done some marketing in the past and it was not as effective as you like, then this is where we'll talk about that. Marketing helps you because if you can articulate clearly the transformation you're going to provide, then people will pay you for the transformation no matter how much you decide to charge them. Once your customers know that you understand and care about them, they will be willing to do business with you, and it's your marketing efforts that will communicate this care and understanding to them. So I'll tell you, I mean, even with my tribe, I mean, I cannot say that I compete on price. I compete on value. And the value of it looks like, what is it when they come alongside me in my business and my team that we are here to support my community that I serve, I am able to show them that this is all the areas in which we can impact your business and also your life. And we articulate it in such a way that, you know, we don't necessarily say, you know, if there's someone that tells them something similar or something like that and it's half the price, I know what it is. I know what it takes. I know the financial. I know what it's going to be financial in order for me to serve them in a great way and also to serve my business, because we still have to be financially responsible, fiscally responsible to our businesses, to our careers, to our lives. So I'm not competing on that. But what I will do is I do know that whatever the price is that I offer that serves that community, they are going to get way more than any price that I put out there. Because what I know is that we deliver on results, and we're very intentional about that. Our success is based on our client's success. And that's what our clients want to know. So when you look at laser marketing, when you look at traditional, let's talk about there's the difference between traditional marketing and laser marketing. Laser marketing's wisdom says spend as much money on sources that spend as much money as you can to reach as many people as you possibly can. And you do that through newspapers, print ads, billboards, TV commercials, flyers, etc. And honestly, which small business owners can afford that? I mean, when you have a smaller business, you cannot spend unlimited amounts of money on marketing. It's just not, most people cannot do that. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's not unlimited. And actually what I'm here to tell you is that it's not the most effective thing anyway. I mean, instead, we are going to talk about and even more effective and often almost free form of marketing, which is known as laser marketing or focused marketing. Laser marketing is about targeting only your ideal clients and communicating your unique serving proposition to them. It's a great return on investment because it gives you the most bang for your buck. And it doesn't matter how large of an organization you are or how small of or a business that you are. You want to have the most effective return on investment when it comes to your marketing dollars. So laser marketing applies to every kind of business. The more you're able to laser in on who would benefit from this particular product in the best way and put those dollars behind that initiative and how you can serve them and transform their business or their lives, that's exactly the best use of your dollars. And it is not the typical traditional marketing model. So what that looks like is, first you want to make sure that you understand who your clients are. You need to ask yourself these things like, what does your ideal client look like? What do they earn? What is their lifestyle like? Why would they be interested in your service? Once you've profiled your client, you need to think of ways to reach your ideal client. And we will discuss ways to do that in our next slide. So let's talk about how to target your ideal clients. Some ways to market your business for less money are blogs. You know, social media is more prevalent now. And yes, you can be social just for social's sake, but when it comes to a business perspective, you can actually meet your tribe where they are. You can give them valuable information, valuable content, freely, if you will, so that they really get to know you on a deeper level. And then you can also share with them how they can explore those options further with you and your business, how they can get some more services, and these services might very well be your paid services. However, when you are out there providing content in the realm of a social media medium, then you're able to get out there in a very cost-effective way. And content in that instance is very key. You can get out there by using ebooks or special reports, Twitter, Facebook fan pages, LinkedIn groups. You can write articles. When I say write articles, I don't mean major theses. I mean articles that are about 300 to 500 words. When I first started in my entrepreneurial business, I wrote lots of articles. And what I would do is I would share those articles on certain websites. And I would speak to business operations. I would speak to how to save money, how to create a winning leadership team, how to make sure that you are aligned with your organization as an employee, how to make sure that the organization recruits people that share the same value system, and so they can create a culture that will really support the overall mission of the company. So these are ways that were very cost effective. And I was able to develop a relationship that way. And so I was able to also make sales that way. So targeting your clients, these are different ways, just as an examples on ways that you can do that. Also, marketing on your own is a way to do it, but then you can also hire a virtual team if you're an entrepreneur to help you market your services. You can get help. You don't have to do it all yourself. And if you're a corporation, obviously, you very well would have a marketing team. And when I say using examples like writing articles, updating your Facebook page, I mean, there are corporations now that use Facebook as a way to stay in touch with their community. You can also use laser marketing to target different audiences. Maybe you really have an expensive product and you advertise it in an exclusive magazine. However, in addition, you might also have a low-cost version of this product that you want to offer to people. So laser marketing helps you target and reach your ideal client in groups that will be associated with that level of product that you have to offer. So, for example, your luxury items, you want to align yourself with luxury brands, and you want to place your products and your services into those areas where you know your luxury clients hang out. For your clients that are not necessarily your luxury clients, but the clients that are really looking for the best price. I mean, you could definitely have low price offerings, and what do you speak to them? You speak to them on the value, speaking to them on the great deal that they're going to get. I mean, Walmart has a great model for that. And so this is it's up to you, and you would not speak to both of those audiences the exact same way. They have different languages that they speak, and you want to be aware of that and see how you can meet them wherever they are. So how do we put it all together? You know, by the end of this lesson, I I have actually said that you would understand what your unique serving proposition is, and I hope that I've been able to articulate that effectively for you today, and why it's important, and how you would go about charging for your unique serving proposition, and how you can communicate to that tribe or community that you're here to serve, and what the significance of your fingerprint is and your unique serving proposition. And what we were able to cover is being able to discover what that is for you. And yes, that is why it is so essential for you to really come prepared with your pre-work and also do your workbook, because those exercises really further integrate that into your business, into ways that there are opportunities to up-level how you are servicing your clients, your tribe, in a way that makes sense for them and also makes sense for you. And by going through these exercises, you will get those results that I am mentioning. So if we look at it, if you have not done your pre-work yet, I encourage you to do it. And look at what is your serving proposition. I mean, this is for you, because once you get a solid footing on that, man, it's very powerful. You come out very powerfully. And this is powerful for your own, knowing what you bring to the table and what's distinct in how you service your clients and what your style is. And it also rolls up organizationally. So whether it's your own business or you serve an organization, you know, to really hone into you, or if you're in the marketing department of an organization, really hone into what makes us different. And what are our products and services? And oftentimes we do share the similar products or services, but how is it that yours provides a different experience for your client base? And how can you speak to them so that they understand that? And then there's a fingerprint worksheet, so it has some questions for you to answer. Who is your tribe? How will you charge for your unique serving proposition, and how will you market it? And I encourage all of you, this is available to everyone in the MILE organization, all the participants. You have a chance to win one of 3 one-hour, one-on-one coaching spots with me, valued at $2,000, where I will coach you on any aspect of your life or business that you need help with. And as I mentioned, how to qualify, I encourage you to sign up for these classes. There's one more class coming up, and I hope that you signed up for that, and complete that pre and post work. It's been an honor to serve you today, and I'm so glad that I was able to share with you today the difference between serving versus selling, and how it can ultimately free you and be the best person that you can be, and also impact your bottom line. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Melissa, for a very interesting and intriguing presentation once again. Now, folks, we're open for Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. There is a hand icon available on your webinar console. If you raise it, I will be able to give you an opportunity to speak to Melissa directly, or you could put your questions in the question box. I see there are a few questions already in the question box, so let me go and jump over straight. Just a second. Okay, there's one interesting question, Melissa, on USP. Essentially, when we are really focusing on results and profitability, how do you genuinely inject serving mentality in yourself and your staff, from whom we are only expecting results and results? So isn't it a paradox that in reality we're actually selling all the time instead of serving?
Well, it's interesting, because when you're serving, the money comes. So therefore, as a result of utilizing this methodology and being able to be present with your tribe, with your community, and making sure that, okay, this is their need. So oftentimes when you have a client come to you, they're saying, okay, I have a challenge in this particular arena, and you have product that can service them in that way. Well, not only do you listen to them and listen to their issues and what they're going through, they might think that they only needed one thing, right? And that might have been the easy way for them to say, oh yeah, that transaction, you give me this, that'll solve my problems. But if you're really looking at really serving them, you're able to open up the opportunity and say, okay, well, if you're having problems in this arena, not only do I have a product or a program that can serve you, but I know that you also are probably having issues in this arena. Is that correct? So it opens up the conversation, so the mindset that you have is to how can you provide the total solution for them? And quite frankly, even if at that particular time they don't buy the total solution based on budgetary constraints, whatever that might look like, then you have already been that authority that they understand, oh wow, they really care. Like they understood not only what I brought to the table, but even the things I'm going to have in the future as challenges. I always say problem, solution, problem, solution. So when a client comes to you with a problem, you afford them the solution, but then you know that once I resolve this solution, there's going to be another problem. And so I want you to understand that when I'm in service to you, I can be that solution for you every step of the way, if that's what your business does provide. And even if your business doesn't provide all of it, that's where partnerships come in, where you can collaborate with other businesses, and they'll always trust you as an advisor for them. So when you have that mentality, you make a lot more money. It's been easy for me to do that. And so even when I'm bidding on something and I have the conversation around how I can serve them, then they're like, oh my gosh, nobody told me that. Because you know what, I'm looking at how I can wholeheartedly serve them. So what I also recommend, and that's how I show you that, it's not just about, oh, if you're just focused on the money, you might lose the opportunity on being focused on your client to see what are other opportunities in which I can make a difference in their business. And those opportunities are actually more revenue generating opportunities. So it opens it up. And yes, everyone does have the reality, and what we do know is in order to be a business, you want to be profitable. So there is a bottom line. However, every time I work with an organization on their sales and their marketing team and supported them in that, they've always had an increase because they were able to open up their mindset and open up to what's possible for not only them but also for their clients. And it impacts the bottom line. So it sounds paradoxical, true enough, and I do admit that. However, what I've seen over and over again is when you're serving, you create trust right away. So when you're pressured by the sales quota, people kind of feel that. When you're like, okay, are you going to buy this or you're not going to buy this? Or so when are you going to make a decision? Blah, blah, blah. You know, if you're out there doing your thing and speaking and communicating to more and more and more people, then, you know, your opportunities might drop today. They might drop 3 months from now. They might even drop a year from now because it is your responsibility to be out there. However, people will remember when they have a need, they'll come to you because they understand how you operate and that you're in a service mentality, not just there to sell them on something.
Thank you very much. We have another short, interesting question. Could you please tell us what are the best tactics to create emotional relationship with customers?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, the beauty about this is that we all are part of this tribe called humanity. And so when you are authentic with your customers and you really speak to the things that keep them up at night, and so when you're able to, you know, depending on the product or the service, and let me just see if I can give you an example. Well, I'll tell you even when I do entrepreneurial coaching with my clients. You know, my clients they have a level of success. And they're looking to lock in those results so that it's predictable for them. And what that looks like is, yes, we do definitely talk about financial gains. And, you know, with those financial gains, they get confidence. I mean, as a leader, sometimes it's hard to admit that, you know, you don't always know which way to go, and it feels lonely sometimes. And there's not really a place that you've identified that you can just really speak your truth and not be judged for it. And really be honored every step of the way as you have the courage to be that leader to serve that community. And so, you know, speaking about the things that we all experience, we've all had situations where it took us courage to take that next step. That's a humanity conversation. And you can weave it into business. And how do I come along as a trusted advisor to the leaders? You know, yes, we are going to be creating financial results. However, they're thinking about, you know, being able to have a safe place to actually be able to think about what's the best way to move forward. And having a safe place, that's a humanity conversation. People want a safe place to be able to succeed. They want a safe place to be able to fall and also get up. And as a leader, you don't always see that that's available to you. It ends up creating a level of pressure and a level of having to be concerned with everything being perfect and right all the time. And no matter who you are, you've experienced that pressure of having to be right all the time. And you have to be able to sometimes give permission to say, you know what, it doesn't always have to be perfect. This is what your client has, this is what your clients in your community have to know. They have to know that you're there for them, that you're there to serve them, that your success, their success is your success. So it's not just about just selling you an item and going away. It's about making sure that, hey, have you been able to optimize this? Because I care about it. I care about you. You know, whatever it is, that transformation that you're going to provide with your clients, and the ones that you've already provided, any client that you've sold to today, I would actually recommend you speaking to them and saying, okay, and asking them, you know, so why did you choose our organization? And they'll say why. And sometimes you'll never know until you ask the question. And then you say, okay, well, so as a result of working with this, how has it impacted your business? And they'll tell you. And then you say, okay, well, what other ways has it impacted your business? And you keep on asking that so that they start searching for what were the other ways. And you'll get to the juicy part of the emotional connection that they had, because they were able to get a promotion. They were able to be recognized as being the one with the solution. By them choosing your organization and delivering on the results, they looked good. That made them look good. They had more confidence. They were known more as the person that comes, people are respecting them. They're getting called into more meetings and being respected. They have more influence. You know, they're going home feeling happier. You know, they're able to do more things with their family because they're not so worried anymore, because they provided a solution that freed them up to have better results, and yet they don't have to be caught in the race of pressure and heartache. And so these are some of the things that your tribe might be very willing to talk to you about just by asking the question and providing a safe place where they can tell you. And when you receive that data, then you can actually utilize that in your future marketing materials. And that's a good place to start. You don't have to assume all those things on your own, because you might not always be the recipient of your work, you know. And so it's good to touch base with your tribe to understand, well, don't say emotional, just say, what are the other ways that this has created a difference in your life, or transformation in your business, or transformation or a difference in your business. And they'll provide you the keys to that.
Hey, let's move to the next question from Brother Mahmoud Sharaf. To what extent we can count on the personality test to identify our type of personality?
So personality test is one thing, and your personality test allows you to understand what's your hook, if you will. Like, what is that? Are you the extrovert? Are you the introvert? They're both very important. There's nothing right or wrong about either role, either personality. Or are you the personality that really speaks to, like, you really love luxurious things? Or are you like the person that's like, I want the best deal? You know, I mean, there are certain things that it's not just your personality, but how are you showing up in the world? And when you understand that, the more in tune you are with that, is the more you can really focus on that strength of yours. And there are people that want to work with people that are very gregarious, very outgoing, very funny. So yes, they might really love your products and services, but they can get that across the street. They can get that down the block. But what they love about how you show up for them is they love that energy that you're bringing. And then there are people that, you know, they don't necessarily care for the gregarious one or the outgoing one. They care about the person that's solid, that's that silent strength, if you will. That's that consistent advisor that is very intentional and really speaks to the matter at hand. And, you know, that's a different kind of personality. And then you have a personality that might be really consultative. Like, they're very, they show up with wanting to give you a lot of details. Some people like a lot of details. Some people don't like a lot of details. So when you're having your tribe, you need to understand, you know, oh, well, I love to share what is behind the covers in the solution. You know, you don't lead with that. You lead with the transformation, but then there are some clients that they really want to know what's behind the door. They understand that you can transform their lives, but then they want some details. And there's other clients that don't want those details. They want to know that you can hit the bottom line, and you want to communicate that effectively, and they want to get started. So it's really important to understand what is your strength position, and whether it's unique or quirky it sometimes is a thing that you wanted to hide when you were younger because of the pressures of your peers. And as you elevate, you see, oh wow, this was actually something that is a strength of mine. And when you know that, then you can walk in life and you can know that, okay, this is who I'm most compatible with. And so, for example, when I was working for corporations, what I knew is that I take initiative. I'm a problem solver. You give me what you want to get, and I'm going to work as much as I possibly can to deliver those results for you. What I knew is that I take initiative. I don't really need anyone to sit over me and to tell me every single step I need to do, when I need to do it, how I need to do it. I don't need that level of detailed direction. Give me the space to bring what I know I can do to serve you. Of course, we're in partnership, so I'm not going to do anything out of alignment of serving you, but I don't need a micromanager. And I found also that there's some personalities that they really do want a lot of direction. They want to have someone spell it out step by step by step by step. And there's a place for everybody. But what you don't want is you don't want someone that needs step by step by step to be in a situation where it's an environment that's not what they do. They don't give you step by step by step. They give you the big picture and they expect you to go for it or sink or swim. So that's why it's very important to understand what is your personality trait, and also what are the personality traits that and the kinds of clients that you will best provide the best value to, and how does your serving proposition match up with their transformation that they want in their business and in their life.
Okay, thank you. The next question from Brother Afzal Hussain. Startup is always harder with the objective to have some profitable venture. Does any activity started with serving perspectivity can be turned into a profitable business?
Oh, absolutely. So like I said, serving isn't, being a master servant is not being a slave. So servants do get paid. And it's just the mindset of what you're doing. So for example, if you're a servant leader and you're an entrepreneur and you are creating your own business, when you start, sometimes you don't have like what we call proof. People don't know what you're able to do. They've not experienced you before. You're new. You're the newest person that is there and some people have been in business longer than you. So what do you do to serve them in a way that makes them feel comfortable? So and also turns into a paying client. So when I was mentioning being able to give content, being able to speak to your tribe, this can be in the form of doing speaking engagements. This can be in the form of doing blogs. It can be in the form of going to where your community that you're there to serve, go hang out with them, go to where they are, and be in community with them so they get to know, like, and trust you. And oftentimes people buy from the people that they know, like, and trust. And so as an entrepreneur, it's your responsibility to get out there in that way. And to you, and that is actually an investment. That is, it is a form of marketing. And then what happens is you also let them know that this is how you can serve them in another way. So it's one thing to give someone information that will serve them in 30 minutes, 90 minutes, what have you. But oftentimes the needs that they have is they need a lot more than that. So how can they get a lot more from you? And you have to be ready with being able to show and express to them what that looks like. So if they want to further in that transformation, these are the products and services that you can offer them. As you do that, then you want to, when you first start out, anybody that you serve, even if you're not serving with your top dollar services as of yet, even if when you're just starting out and people haven't even experienced you, you can always serve people in a way that it might be a discount initially if that's what you choose to do, but in exchange, they will provide you a testimony. They will provide you something that speaks to how your services and products made a difference in their business. You collect a few of those, and then you get to walk a little stronger. And you have now your clients speaking to the transformation that you provide them. So it gets less on your back to prove and to show that you're worthy enough of coming to the table. You actually have evidence of what you have done for others. And with evidence, you're able to get closer to the charging and the pricing that you need in a business to be able to have a sustainable and financially profitable business. And as you create that momentum, you can charge for those you can charge. And so you'd have different levels in your business. Make sure that as you're starting, you have some services that you can give away. It might be something that recorded. It might be something to educate the clients on why it's important to be able to that level of service. What is the transformation that that would allow them to take advantage of the services that you have to offer. Sometimes people don't know. Educate them. Don't presume. After you educate them, and that can be a free offer that you have, then you have your service. So in order to get that transformation that you've educated them on why that makes a difference in their life, then you're able to price saying, okay, well, here's a price, an entry fee price. And then the entry fee price is for the people that they really don't know, but they're willing to take the risk. They're willing to explore that level of transformation with you. Then you might have another level of service offering that I would say really caters to the people that really want to get the most value from your business. So it is a cost-conscious pricing. That's not the most, it's not least expensive, but for that price, they're going to perceive it as, oh, we get so much value. And I don't know if your business is a product business or a service business. However, in a service business or a product business, you can actually put things, you can add things like your main product might be an item that is like a really great item that will transform their lives. And then you can throw some things in that are additives. That's really not more money for you to provide, but to them, they're going to think that, oh my gosh, you're just providing me so much. How can I not go with you? And let me just see what that looks like from a business perspective. If, in fact, you are selling, let's just say, computers, okay? Let's just say that you're selling computers, and you have a small business, and you sell these computers, and you might refurbish computers. Well, not only do you refurbish computers, but once a month, you might be able to send them a little tip on how they can maintain their computer. And that's value, because then people can maintain the investment that they had, and maybe another business doesn't even do that, but you do. And that's not anything off of your back. That's just you being yourself, because at this time in your business, you know how it is to maintain these computers. So you can just share that with them so they can maintain that investment, so they know that you care about them. And who does that? Like, there might be no one else that does that. So there's things that you can think about to add that more value, and that's the price point. Then you have a price point that's a high price point. And those are the clients that they love bragging rights. I mean, they're willing to pay for immediate results. And they want to be able to say they worked exclusively with the, they had that conversation with the president of the company. I mean, if it's a corporation, they're bringing millions of dollars in-house, right? And as a result of doing that, they get to speak to the high-level people in the company. And they want to be able to say, yeah, I'm doing business with them and this person in the company, and they were able to help, empower me to do this, this, and this, and create these results. They want to have that level of bragging rights. They want to have immediate gratification. So they might have a challenge, and they might have to pay more to get that transformation fast. But guess what? They're in a position that they can do that because they want that transformation fast. So there's a lot of different places that you can meet your clients. And your clients can go up the ladder of the examples I gave you, or they can go straight to being a high-paying client. They can start at a low, like a cost-effective client. It doesn't matter. You can turn a cost-effective client into a high-paying client based on the relationship and based on their needs. So I'm just showing you examples of how, even in a small business or a startup business, those are just a few examples of how you can still make it, and that laser marketing and unique serving is really your sweet spot in that particular arena as well.
Let me quickly move to caller. There was a hand raised. Dr. Muhammad Hussain.
Dr. Hussain.
Sir, you had raised your hand earlier.
Sir, you had raised your hand earlier.
I think we have an issue here. So let me move to one last question before we conclude. The question is, how can we combine the uniqueness of each individual in an organization to draw a unique service mission or proposition on behalf of an organization?
Oh, that's juicy. I love that question. So yes, your organization is made up of people. It's a culture, really. And what the organization has to do is define what is unique in that organization. So there's some organizations that people are used to experiencing. They're like, man, every time I do business with that company, this is what I experience. And it's a consistency. They might say that, it's this organization, they always have like a young energy about them. I mean, they're always creative. They think outside of the usual. And they always add value to my company, my business. And so if you're that kind of organization, you need to make sure that you recruit the people that are willing to think outside, think about the things that are not ordinary. that are creative thinkers. And you need to be able to, and there are people that value that. So the worst thing that a creative company can do is to recruit people that are not supportive of creativity. And so you can be in the company and you can be the account manager, and you love working with people that want to think of a different way of doing business quicker, faster, and are open to providing them with some creative mechanisms to do that. It's full of integrity and all that, but it's creative, it's fun, things of that nature. And then even the CFO. The CFO does not need to be the most creative person from that perspective, but the CFO needs to be able to have a value system that supports that level of the culture. So, you know, they still have to be responsible for what they're to do, and that's make sure the company is fiscally responsible. However, they can have an aptitude and a value system that says, you know what, I want to be a part of this mission that this organization is carrying out. And this is how I'm going to contribute my gifts to the mission of the organization. You can have the administrative assistant that supports the leadership. And they also understand, and their value systems, one is, I want to be a part of this mission, and I want to contribute my skills of coordination, of making sure that the leader that I serve in the organization is organized. I provide a forum so they can be organized. I provide a way that they can prioritize their work, that I can manage, you know, who is coming in and out of their office, and I can also make sure that they get to the other meetings on time, that they take their lunch breaks. I want to contribute to this organization, and that's my contribution. So the organization overall does need to have a mission, and it needs to be able to look at what are the value systems that support that mission. And when you recruit people or people that are in your organization, they're coming with different gifts and talents, because it's more than one kind of gift that allows an organization to thrive. But the common denominator is that they really have a genuine interest of contributing their unique gifts to the success of that mission that the organization is taking on. And so even within, my organization, or when I even work with Microsoft, I mean, there are people that were amazing salespeople. They were amazing. However, they stayed in line. They valued what Microsoft valued. They held the space for being able to put a computer on every desktop. Whatever Bill's vision was, they believed in that as well, and they were willing to contribute their sales skills to that vision. The account managers that were already working with clients that have already purchased from Microsoft, they were wanting to support the vision, but they knew that the importance of being able to maintain an account was able, in the way that they do it in the best way, to be able to have that customer relationships, to go deeper into the account, to build even more relationships. They might have started with the CIO, but now they're able to talk to the chief marketing officer, the CEO, and they know that by being there in service to that particular organization, they're supporting the mission of Microsoft, right? And that's how they're contributing. And then so it doesn't matter to the housekeeper in the organization, to the CFO, to the people that are great at sales, at delivery. In Microsoft, there's people that are very technical, of course. They're developers, and developers are not salespeople oftentimes. Some of them are this uniqueness of, there's some unique people that are like that, but a lot of the best developers are there to make sure that there's a quality product that's being delivered to support the mission. And while it is a product, and it has to be quality, and it has to work, they know that they're contributing their gifts and talents to support the overall mission of the organization, and they are aligned with it, and they're sharing the same values that the organization shares in serving their people and the customers that they are there to serve. So yes, in a team, people show up in their individual brilliances, and it really looks, you have to honor each other and support each other, and understand that, you know, I might not be brilliant in being a programmer. I might be brilliant in another thing. It doesn't diminish my brilliance because this person's great at this. I have something just as important to offer, and it's my responsibility to show up in the most powerful way and to leverage my gifts to really contribute to the overall vision and support each and every one person that's on that team as well.
Well, thank you very much, Melissa. That really brings us towards the end of the webinar. I would like to thank you on behalf of Mile once again for this wonderful presentation, and any concluding remarks you would like to give before we actually wind up.
Yes, I want to just encourage you to explore that. And, you know, we always have talks on serving versus selling. And I just want to share with you just a bit of what that can look like. And what I do know, and I have seen this over and over again in my business and also in my career, I've seen it from my personal perspective and also all of the clients that we've come alongside and showing them how that mindset can impact their bottom line. It really works. So I encourage you to do the work, do the workbook. Explore how that can be integrated into how you do business, and hold on to that. And you will see that when people want to know, like, and trust individuals, no matter if it's an organization and you are a part of the team of an organization, when they interact with you, they don't really buy from a company. They buy from those individuals that are serving them. So I want to encourage you to just stand in your authenticity and to keep on being out there in the world and being the best person you can, and share your gifts with the world because we need you. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Just to supplement what Melissa just said, please do take some time to fill the workbooks that was sent to you. Combined in the last 2 webinars, we've had more than 50 attendees and more than 100 registered for Melissa's webinar, and we have another one now scheduled for September 10th. Melissa's community on entrepreneurial mindset is also active now on Mile Community, which is milecop.net, which is milecommunitypractices.net. So I've broadcasted her link on the channel of Webinar Console, where you can click and freely join her community. So please stay tuned. And once again, Melissa, I would like to thank you again for this wonderful presentation.